Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Bad Calls, Balls, and Brawls. It's your host, 305 Sports Beat, and co-host, Miami Lou. Victory Wednesday, right? We're still on the chug of victory. But before we get into anything football, listen, you guys know about this hurricane going on. Hurricane Nicole, it just strengthened into a hurricane from a tropical storm. We in Miami are safe. It's raining a lot. Our power did flicker. So, and Lou was like, oh my gosh, it never happened. So, we sure hope that, we're okay. But just north of us in Fort Lauderdale, which is about, 25, 30 minutes, they are getting hit pretty hard. So prayers up to everybody in Florida getting hit with Hurricane Nicole. It's going to be a long night. It's a slow-moving storm, looking like it's hitting little north.
Nope.
Whoa! Guys, I'm not making this up. That's not funny. I'm scared.
Live,
Guys, oh my gosh. Not making this up. That just scared me.
It's been a lot of rain,
Ah.
a lot of wind, and so yeah, you just saw it. We're safe. The winds aren't that impactful. Just been dumping rain all day.
Yeah.
On South Florida and Broward County as well.
Our buddy and a battered Fins fan in Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, so if we're losing power right now, I can't imagine what you're going through.
Better get the flashlight ready.
I know. So far. Sheldon in the chat. What's up, kid? Good to see you. Russ Taylor, one of our best buddies from the Philly area. If y'all Fins fan really voted for Tua in any kind of election, shame on you. Did you hear about that?
No.
There was an election somewhere, and Tua was one of the ballots in the name.
Hey, I'd vote for him. I would have voted for him.
All for Tua. Yeah, Sheldon, so we were saying, before you got on, I was just saying how it just strengthened to a hurricane, and it's actually hitting a little north of us, but our power is flickering. This is the second time it did it. And we went, as we were live, it was flickering. It was in Alabama is where the election for Tua was.
Oh, wow.
So he did not win Florida. DeSantis won Florida. Tua for prez. I'm about that.
Yes, I'd vote for him. Like I said,
I would too.
He has every reason now to be considered a candidate the way he's
playing.
And
I can promise you the Secret Service will be better than our offensive line protecting him.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so like I said before, we are safe. It looks like it's hitting, the worst of it is hitting Palm Beach, Jupiter area, and it's going to cross the state, go through Orlando, out to Tampa, and it's projected to make a turn up by Jacksonville. So we are okay in Miami. We're just getting a lot of rain and obviously losing power, but definitely thinking about everybody who is in the path of this storm. Hurricanes happening in November are very, very rare. Our hurricane season is really between July to October. So this is just a really weird season for hurricanes, and this late one is just wild. So
yeah, when does hurricane season end? November,
pretty much in a week. So, but right. This is the real end of it. So
the last flurry, it's going down. It looks like
definitely.
But at least this one is not as impactful. First of all, at least it's not going to the Southwest Florida, which was very hit hard the last go around by Ian. So yeah. This doesn't look like it's going to be that impactful. So. But it is dumping a lot of rain.
So November 30th, our buddy Battered Fin fans let us know November 30th was when it officially ends. But there hasn't been a late hurricane November for a while, so this is a weird one to be happening now. Our buddy Russ let us know that hello and he's alive, and he did not win the Powerball. I don't think anybody here won the Powerball because first of all,
somebody won it.
They did win it.
Somebody
from where?
It hasn't been announced. The person.
Well, we know it's not Russ. That's not me. It's not you.
Right.
Anybody in the chat won it? They wouldn't be listening to us.
The person's smart because they're not revealing. I don't know why people do that. I mean,
for their protection, Lou. If I found out that you won the Powerball.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If I don't understand why people go and they admit that they won and come out with a big check and hey, look, I won the Powerball and I accept it and I'm that person, I would go into hiding.
Somebody in California won.
Right. So, but the person's doing the right thing by not coming forward and either get somebody else to do it, hire a lawyer, come up with a company, whatever you got to do, but don't go out there and put your name and your face attached to that winning money.
Guys, if you won the Powerball, what is the first thing that you would get? We didn't even talk about this because Lou and I, one thing, we just don't talk about finances, right? But what would you do? I want to know in the chat too. What would you guys do if you won the Powerball? I'd be listening to you guys. I'll drive very safe. Battered Fin fan. If you're going to Tallahassee, be very safe. Roads are getting bad. Different states have other states have different regulations. Yeah. But if you guys did win the Powerball, did win? What are you guys getting? What if you win the Powerball? What are some things you get? Or
Well,
what would you want?
I do want to say, if you're friends with me on Facebook, I did post something pretty funny. Our good friend up in Chicago, or not a good friend, but a random guy, was approached by a reporter, and I know you saw this. The reporter asked him what his lucky numbers were, and he said his numbers on the air, which that was a big mistake.
Oh my gosh!
And then the follow-up question is, if you won, what would you buy? Just like you just asked.
Yeah.
And his question, he deadpan looked at the camera and the reporter and said, a bunch of hookers and cocaine.
Oh my gosh.
That's what he said live on TV. And the reporter, to her credit, she laughed it off and then said, oh no. She said, that's not quite the answer we were looking for. Sorry about that.
I did not see that.
And then she awkwardly said, back to you guys in the studio, after this guy just said that he would get a bunch of hookers.
Well, our buddy Sheldon does not want hookers or cocaine. He said he would buy some of the Dolphins. He wants at least 10%. Russ said he would have an LLC lawyer and hire someone to help me ghost completely. Well, you better not ghost completely, because we love having you on the show every week. So at least come up with like an alias name, like Russ the Cowboys fan or something. Russ the Cowboys fan. At least something. Don't leave us. We love you too much to
Big
go.
Baller Taylor.
All right. So if I won the big jackpot, I am very philanthropic. Obviously, I try to give back a lot. Lou and I are actually going to the Tyreek Hill Family Foundation Gala this week at the Hilton downtown to support Nicholas Children's Hospital. So I'm really big with any nonprofits supporting. So I would have to say the first thing I would do is really look for nonprofits and kind of like give out that way. Second thing I would do is I'd buy us a house. We live in a very small apartment in Miami, so I'd want to buy some.
I wouldn't say a small apartment. It's an apartment.
It's tiny, but I'd buy us a house. And then pay off my student loans.
There you go.
And then I think that, I don't know, like I'm so blessed and I have so many things. So material wise, like I'm good. The Dolphins, I don't want that job in my life. Like I just want to be a fan. I don't want ownership with them, because one game I'm cleaning house, right? Like Sanders, you missed how many field goals this year? You're done. I don't want any ownership with that. So.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't be able to buy the Dolphins for that, even though 1.2 billion or whatever the final number was is tremendous. The Dolphins are valued at over like $3 billion at this point, as is any team. So yeah, that wouldn't be enough to get you in the door.
So talk about the Dolphins. I know a lot of people on the show are listening right now because they want to vent about Sunday. I've had so many people say, when's the next show? Let's talk about Sunday. Let's talk about Sunday. So let's talk about last Sunday. Dolphins go to Chicago against the 3-5 Bears, right? Soldier Field. It was our first time going there, and we'll talk about the experience in a little bit. I can tell you one thing. I'm pretty sure Justin Fields is still running. That man, I don't know if he had a jetpack on him. I don't know. Our defense, like, what was the issue? Like, that game should not have been that close, and I really feel like being a Dolphins fan this year, we haven't blown out any team. Every game has been close, whether it was the Steelers game, literally all the games that we played, the Minnesota game, everything has been close.
Well, week one, the Patriots game, we beat pretty handy.
Okay, but all the other games, especially the last 3 or 4 wins that we've had in a row, I think it was 3 or 4 wins, everything has been close. That game was way too close.
Yeah, they're a tough team to figure out. And then they've had good halves. So, against the Lions, they shut them out in the second half. Yeah. Against the Ravens, they shut them out in the second half. This game, they couldn't do that. They couldn't put the Bears away. It was back. They were always up, but the Bears kept on answering. They kept on answering to the end. It came down to the last possession. So it's a little concerning how they can't put a full, complete game, first and second half, on defense together. And then, there's no excuse for allowing a record 178 yards rushing by the quarterback. It's never happened before.
No.
So it was a record in the regular season. Colin Kaepernick does hold the overall record in the postseason
with the
But
Niners.
Still, you're talking about, those are two, instances of crazy rushing, storied games, and one of them is against the Dolphins. And
so RJ has to vent. I knew that was coming. Yeah. I gave him the floor. RJ, hands up. He raised his hand very politely. Yeah. Hands up. I want to vent about the D, but the clock management, what is going on with this? The 2 touch. Guys, we're losing power. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. We're going to hang in this as long as we can. Yeah. We're a little freaked out. All right. Go back to RJ. Sorry about that. RJ, hands up. I wanted to vent about the defense, but the clock management, what is going on with this? The 2 touchdowns with 8 to go, the run before the half, very concerning. Help our buddy RJ out.
Yeah, no, big time.
The clock management is terrible. Do they not know, like...
Right. Well, they should have definitely...
whose fault is that? Is that Tua's fault? Is that Coach McDaniel? Who is to blame with the clock management? Because we have seen this a few times this year.
Right. Well, it falls on the head coach. The head coach makes the decisions, and he's had some shaky decisions in terms of when to go for a 4th down, when to kick a field goal, when to have the lights.
Stop, guys! This is so creepy right now.
That's pretty weird.
Oh, okay, keep going.
Lord, maybe put the power.
Look, that has nothing to do with our power's flickering completely.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No, look, it falls on the head coach. He's the one that has to, make those decisions. And in this game, also the time possession, the Bears had the ball for 34 minutes.
Yes.
We only had 25 because they couldn't stop Fields. So they pretty much dictated the game. Thankfully for us, we had a block punt, and Van Ginkel was able to return that for a touchdown,
which was amazing.
And if we don't do that, we could have possibly come out on the wrong side of the score on this one. So
exactly. Our buddy Randy, who does live in Broward County, who you're actually getting hit worse right now than the storm than we are. We're losing power, and it's crazy. But I don't think the place is haunted. If it is haunted, I'm coming to stay with you tonight. So make room. Halloween was last week. Guys, this is not Halloween. And did you pay the electric bill this month?
I did.
Okay.
I think I did.
Back to RJ. The 2 touchdowns with 8 to go. That was bad.
Yeah, that was really bad. Yeah, you cannot do that. You can't.
So is it that our offense is winning these games? Obviously, we're putting enough points on the board to finish these games, but our defense is losing these games for us. Is that fair to say?
We're not losing the games. We're winning the games.
The
defense is putting us in a position where if you keep this up, they are going to start losing games. So they have to play a complete game, first half, second half, and close teams
out.
I'm
saying is, no, I don't mean losing. Oh my gosh, guys, this is so bad right now. This is crazy. I can't focus. I look bad in the dark. Hold on. Where's my selfie light? Hold on. What is going on? Guys, the storm is so bad right now.
That's bad.
Okay, I'm freaked out. I'm scared.
No, you're right.
Okay. Sheldon said it's head coach's fault, like Lou said, it has to be better with clock management. And you gotta remember, he's a rookie coach. He's freaking out, right? Like he's still trying to figure it out. And it'll come to him, it takes, but still, no excuse. It's like a horror movie. I'm trying to focus on football right now. I'm trying not to think what's happening outside. RJ.
Oh, geez.
Lou, don't leave me here on the show. Guys, stay with me. Lou, what are you doing? He's going outside. Open the door. Hold on. You guys want to see outside? What's it look like? He's looking outside right now. Is it raining?
No.
All right. He just left the show to see why we keep losing power. Come back. Don't leave me here. Okay. It's like a horror movie. It sure is. So crazy. And he did pay the bills. All right, but back to the game. RJ, I'm sorry, the 2 times out at the 8-minute mark on the 3rd and 4th down. You flipped out about that when he called that. You were like,
that was insane. I mean, I don't,
because we could have needed those timeouts later in the game if things didn't turn our way. And
quick timeouts, just no reason.
Because of time management.
Yeah,
because they couldn't figure it out. So we blame Coach McDaniel. It's not a Tua thing.
Yeah, it's what it is. The coach's responsibility to have better time management. It is his 9th game. He's never been a head coach before. Yeah. So he's just got to do a better job at time managing the game.
RJ, I'm going to tell you who my issue is on the Dolphins. Sanders. That defense, yes, that's a huge problem. And Justin Fields totally strangled us. But my problem right now is Jason Sanders. This man is missing too many field goals. He's supposed to be the 2nd best kicker in the league next to Justin Tucker.
Yes.
Justin Tucker on the Ravens. And he is just missing consecutively every game 1 to 2 field goals. That is a big problem. That's 3, 6, 9 points that he's just crapped the bed on. I'm very concerned about that.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's got to do a better job. He didn't have this problem the last 2 years.
He didn't. He was so smooth like butter. So what's going on with him? When we played against Cincinnati, he missed a field goal after 2 went down with the hands. And I thought, okay, maybe his head wasn't in there.
Oh, boy.
Oh my gosh, this is so scary.
We're going to have to call this as a short show.
No, we're not. Guys, stay with me. I feel more safe that you're on with me than with him. Look.
All right, look, let's talk about
Wait. Sheldon said, you're not alone, Ashley. We're here with y'all. Russ said, if an axe murder comes in, I will avenge you both. Load order Miami.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
It's like a horror movie.
Well, I think if I did win the Powerball, I'd get a backup generator up to this point.
RJ with a good point. Talking about Sanders, I'm glad you kind of helped me with this. I looked at his career stats. Take 2020 out, and this is him. So basically, 2020 was a great year for him, and then everything else has been inconsistent. So what do? Do we allow him to keep missing these field goals? Like, I mean, we're not talking 15, 60 yards. We're talking 25, 37, 45. So what do? Do we keep the kicker? Do we look for a new one? What do we do?
No, you can't look for a new kicker.
Who's out there? Can we bring back Adam Vinatieri?
You cannot look for a new kicker.
If Brady can come back, so can Adam Vinatieri.
Okay, you can't look for a new kicker. Okay. And in my opinion, what you can't do either is start doing what a lot of these coaches do is go for it on fourth, down when you're inside the 25-yard line or 30-yard line.
Because you don't trust your kicker.
Yeah, but you can't do that. You got to play the game and you got to take the points, put points on the scoreboard is the name of the game. If they would have done that, a couple of games ago, they wouldn't have had these close calls. So you got to play the game the correct way.
So Russ asked a good question. What's the situation in Buffalo? So let's just talk about this real quick. Jets beat Buffalo. Jets beat us. We beat Buffalo. Right? Something's going on with Josh Allen that people are being very, very, very private about, to the point where the Bills fans don't even know. I can relate to this in the sense that we have Victor Oladipo down here for the Miami Heat. He has not played one game this year. Something's going on with his knee that they're not disclosing the full truth about. So there are organizations that will hush lip about their players, and they really think Josh Allen has Tommy John's. I believe, don't quote me on this one. They're saying something Tommy John's. No,
it's his elbow. I wouldn't say, you'd say Tommy John, you're putting him out for a year and a half.
So that's what I read, that he may need that.
I don't know where you got your sources from, but I'm not going to say that I'm going to hope for it. I'm not going to wish against it either. But, you never want to see players get hurt. Now, if he is hurt and if it's anything, that has to do with his throwing elbow, that's a major concern. And that will change the landscape of the AFC East and all of football, because the Bills were a unanimous favorite to win the Super Bowl this year. So it's a monster story, and it's something to see. But
everyone's tight-lipped about it. No one knows. No one knows. Right?
Well, we'll know what happens this Sunday. If they think that
Who do they play?
They play Minnesota.
Okay. Minnesota beat us.
If they think that it's a concern, he won't be playing. If they hold him out, it's also going to tell you that there's something bigger there.
Yeah. So, I go ahead. I cut you off there.
We just talk about the good things that happened in this game. Tua threw for over 300 yards.
He looked awesome.
3 touchdowns and no interceptions. He did that for 2 weeks in a row. He did it against the Lions the previous week. Mm-hmm. And no quarterback, not even Dan Marino, has ever done that. Marino's thrown for 20 games in a row, 300-plus yards and multiple touchdowns, but never without an interception. So Tua is protecting the football. He's hitting his great receivers.
A little short, but we'll
talk about one of them now. But he's hitting his great receivers.
Yeah.
And he's not turning the ball over. So it's amazing what he's doing.
It's working.
Ever since he's gotten back, he's really been locked in on all cylinders. And then you move to Tyreek Hill.
What did you not say about him?
7 catches, 143 yards, and a touchdown.
Broke 1,000 yards at that game.
He did a somersault and a
back foot somersault, beat Simone Biles. She has nothing on him.
Right. He could go for the gymnastics U.S.
goals.
Team.
He's so good.
And he's, like you just said, he's over 1,000 yards. He's now on pace to become the first 2,000-yard receiver in NFL history.
Hands down.
It's an amazing job.
Waddle's looking good. Wilson, the guy we just picked up from 49ers, who comes Jeff Wilson from the Niners. He looked good. He's first start with the Dolphins. Chubb, excited to have you. Right.
Well, Chubb didn't have a very good debut. He missed a sack. He had Fields for.
Everyone missed a sack when it came to Fields. Why do you think Fields ran so much?
He was brought in here because we were having a problem doing that. He had his opportunity to solidify a sack, and he gave it up. And then he also pursued Fields on multiple occasions. We had a really good view of it where he just pursued him, and Fields took off on him and took it for long runs. So. That needs to be cleaned up. The defense definitely has to clean up its act.
Agreed.
Sure. Yep.
So Chicago, but no, Sheldon, no, I am right. Look, there's more sources. You're right, Ashley. His UL and his elbow, he's strained and a slight tear. That's the minimum that we know, right? Like, that's the public information. So there's more to it.
Right, but when you say Tommy John,
that's the word that they use.
I get it, but Tommy John
is season ending.
Is season ending and would take him into next season. So that would be all over the place. I don't know where you heard that.
Ulnar collateral ligament strain. Got this from ESPN. Had the same injury in 2018. Now, we don't wish bad on anybody, right? But we do hope that if it is serious, they don't hide it it becomes something worse.
Right.
We obviously know how that works with injuries and stuff. So
yeah, no, absolutely.
But no, so Chicago, you know what? It was a great time. We left here Saturday morning. Flight was terrible. A lot of turbulence. Chicago must have the windiest day in history. Our landing, I don't know how we made it to the ground. We had a really good day. The first day, we met up with Andrew. Andrew and his dad were the guys who wear the suits, along with Finn's assassin, our buddy Bob. We did a tour of Wrigley Field. If you guys are ever in Chicago, definitely do a tour of Wrigley Field. It's $30, and they take you all over. You learn so much. So we did that. And then we did the Prince Day experience, the Prince Museum. It's like a move-in exhibit. Lou was a big Prince fan growing up. I didn't get to appreciate his music as much. But after, I felt like the biggest Prince fan. Purple Rain.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
That's why Prince sang and not you.
At night, we went to Shula Steakhouse because Lou swore that Dan Marino was going to be at Shula Steakhouse in Chicago, and he was not.
I picked the wrong steakhouse. There's so many great steakhouses in Chicago, and he went to the famous Gibson Steakhouse.
Yeah.
I thought for sure.
The assassin. Where's your comment? Come back. So yeah.
I thought for sure Marino would have gone to Shula's. Maybe he went to it during the day, but he ended up going to Gibson's at night with, he was there with Joe Rose, Nat Moore, and a bunch of other Dolphin alumni. So
Russ made a good point, and I totally thought, when you said that, you would have thought those QB rushing records would have been held by Mike Vick. Yeah. Mike Vick for sure.
Mike Vick and Randall Cunningham. Those are two of the best running quarterbacks ever.
Definitely. So yeah. So Saturday night ended up at Shula's. Called it a night. Sunday we actually got 2+ hours of sleep extra because we got the 1 hour from moving to the different time zone, and then it was daylight savings time. So,
and I hate daylight savings.
I love it.
I hate the fact
because it gets dark. Yeah.
I hate the fact that it gets dark so early.
Yeah.
Now it's getting dark like around 5 o'clock here.
It's terrible.
It got dark around 4 something in the Midwest in Chicago.
Yeah.
So I didn't like that at all. Speaking about getting dark, it's getting dark here.
Guys, stop! Oh, the storm is. We're not staying here. We're staying at your parents' house tonight. Oh.
Wow, that's not good.
No. Do we have like perishable? Can you guys send us? Our milk's gonna go bad. I didn't eat dinner yet. Can you like Venmo me money so I can get dinner? No, I'm just kidding.
Are you plugged in because the battery?
No, I'm not plugged in, but we're good. We have a little. All right, and then Sunday, Bears fans were awesome. Treated us really like gold. Soldier Field's a historic stadium, but I don't want to say crap hole, but just really, 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 really old. We sat in the 400 section. No one told us that the 400 section had no bathrooms. So there was a lot.
It's an old stadium. It's an old stadium. And more importantly, with it being the Windy City, those seats should have come with seatbelts to hold us down because it was really windy all weekend long in Chicago. So.
I already said the photos looked amazing. I was bummed to miss it. Coming home from Florida, whole house got sick. Oh my gosh. Everybody is sick these days. Even me, I'm a little hoarse in the throat. It's the season, right? 'Tis the season to the flu. COVID's still around. Hopefully you guys get feeling better and we'll see you soon. But the game was great. Bears fans are good. After we had I hosted a post-game meet and greet at Fat Pours McCormick, but I don't like the dark look. I got like triple chins in the dark. Light, come back. Please, Lou, this is scary. I don't like this.
It's not good. Just turn it on.
No, Lou, can we just shut it off? All right, we just shut it off. It's off. We're just going to do this in the dark for a little bit. Lou, it's off. No, just shut it all off.
All right.
Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so embarrassed.
We're in the dark.
Wait, you put a candle on. Go light the candle. Stay with us. Please, no one leave. Hold on. I got to tell you something. I got to tell you a story about what happened on the walk. Lou, where's the candle? Hold on. Guys, stay.
Oh, boy.
Hold on. Stay. No one leave. I have a story to tell. We're going to just put the candle on. Did you not pay the electric? No, we're having this hurricane right now. All right. Lou, we just need the one. I got to tell you, I'm going to do a little shout. Look at the back of my phone. Here, look at the candle. This candle I bought a few weeks ago. I don't eat bacon. I have Crohn's disease. I don't eat bacon. But this candle, you have to get this candle. Stop. That's enough. This is candied maple bacon candle from Bath and Body Works. This is the best candle I've ever had in my life. So, are you back?
I'm back.
Okay. This is like Tales of the Crypt. Ooh. This is so bad. No one can screenshot any of this. What happens on the show tonight stays on the show tonight.
Hey,
all right.
We're in a...
Oh, it smells so good. I'm going to get high off the smell. All right. So back to the thing. Did you say bacon candle? Yes. And I said, I don't eat bacon. I don't eat meat. I have Crohn's disease. So I have to be very careful what I eat. This is a candied maple bacon candle. It is the best candle I ever bought in my life. Give me your address. I'll mail you one. It's so good. All right. So we're walking from Soldier Field to the bar where I hosted a meet and greet after the game. And, the weather was perfect. We were never cold. It was like 60s, 50s. Everything was great. And we're walking like past these wooden these brick houses. And I see like this thing like 3 or 4 inches on the brick house. And I thought it was like a furry, fuzzy bug. Like I don't know, maybe like a bug like to Illinois, like a thing. And I look, it was a bat. I have never seen a bat in my life. The bat was literally on the wall. So I'm like all close to it. I almost show the picture of the bat. So yeah, they have bats in Chicago. So we get to the party. Shout out to Fat Ports McCormick for hosting us. I thought maybe there'd be 20 or 30 people. We ended up having 80. Okay, so there's the bat. I'll go this way more. Closer. Just don't burn yourself.
Yeah.
3 to 4 inches. That's what she said. Huh, on a good day. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
There it is. It's like a...
Yeah, you guys can see it. So I didn't know what that was. It was against the wall, and so I saw my
reaction of it.
Higher. Yeah. So
she's like, "Hey, what is that?" And it was
like a bat. Oh, I wasn't scared. Okay, so again, McCormick's a lot of great friends that we had in town came. So many to name. We met new friends like Paige. El Patron was great. We met so many. Oh my gosh, there's so many names. I can go on
Mike
forever.
McDaniel was there.
Mike McDaniel, Coach McDaniel joined us after the party.
And his wife, they were awesome from Omaha.
Yeah, we had so many great friends. I mean, I could sit here all day and name them, but we had a really, really great time. And then after the party, Lou and I went to Lou Minolti's for pizza. So we had 3 different pizzas that whole entire trip. First day we started at Pequod's. Second day we did Lou Minolti's, and third day we did Gino's East. So Ash, what is your favorite pizza out of all of them? My favorite pizza out of all of them was Pequod's. Pequod's is my favorite pizza in Chicago. How about you?
Mine was also Pequod's, and then the second one for me was Gino's East. I love Gino's East. I think you said Illuminati's, but Gino's East is my second one.
It was, yeah. That's probably my ranking too. So we had a really, really great. Of course, they have bats in Chicago. They filmed The Dark Knight there. What would we do without Russ? If I ever go on any show, Wheel of Fortune, Price is Right, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I'm calling Russ for everything in life. I'm telling you right now. And then on Monday, we woke up. We did a tour of Soldier Field. Excellent tour of Soldier Field. 2-hour, very thorough tour. We went on top of the Willis Tower, did the glass thing, had dinner, and made it home. So that was our trip. We had a great time. We cannot wait to go back to Chicago. It's one of our favorite cities to visit. Definitely hope to go there in the spring to catch the Heat versus Bulls game again like we did last year. And then also see a game at Wrigley. And also,
that's the real reason. I would go see a Heat game again there.
I would.
I'd want to go see the Cubs and see Wrigley Field.
I haven't
seen a game there.
So now that we're battling the elements here and we're doing this like a kumbaya, let's just go back in history. And
I don't know if I can read my notes, but I'll try.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm pretty sure we're back in 1872 right now with no electricity.
I gotta get my notes over here.
Oh my God. Guys, you are the real MVPs for staying on the show with us without any electricity right now.
Put some lights on over here.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna give you a couple of facts. The first one's gonna be celebrities.
Okay.
So
you look good at that light. Look at that light bouncing off you. Shoot.
So this week's
you look so much better in the dark.
Yeah, thanks. So this week's celebrity tonight, even though we can't see it now because the power's out, is the CMTs going on right now. The country music CMAs.
CMTs.
CMAs.
So Joey, we're getting silly now. CMTs.
I don't know.
And I agree. And I'm like, yeah.
No,
CMAs.
the CMA.
You like country music. What's the T stand for? Theater?
The CMAs are going on tonight.
Yes. Cubs and Sox in the same day.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
North side and the south side.
And you should come along with us.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so CMAs are
Chill,
on tonight,
thank you.
Country Music Awards. So today's celebrity is Brad Paisley.
Oh, I love Brad Paisley.
So Brad Paisley was born not Bradley Chubb, Bradley Douglas Paisley on 10/28/1972. So just a couple last week. Last week he just turned 50. He was born in Glendale, West Virginia. He has sold over 1 million records worldwide, and is a 3-time Grammy Award winner. Yep. He's won multiple country music awards, but he's actually won 3 Grammy Awards, so that's pretty good. I'm going to give you a couple of Brad facts. He met his wife at a audition for one of his music videos. It was for the song "Who Needs Pictures," and Brad was the one that handpicked her to be the lead model in this video. And he did it because he liked her. Yeah, he liked her, and he wanted to ask her out. So he made her the main show of the video, and next thing you know, they're married. So
sweet.
He was born. So because of the fact that he was born.
Talk about marriage. Never mind. Keep going.
Go ahead.
No, a lot of people keep saying things to me, so I think somebody might know stuff that I don't know. But keep going.
Well, they shouldn't leave you out in the dark. That's for sure. Well, but yeah. So being the fact that he's born in West Virginia. Brad is a huge fan of the West Virginia Mountaineers football team. He is a Dodger fan in baseball. And can you guess what his football team is?
If you're from West Virginia, you can be a Browns fan because you're kind of over by Ohio. You can be a Commanders fan. You can be a Steelers fan. Right, you can be an Eagles fan.
Okay, so who do you think he's a fan of?
Was that any of the? If you live in West Virginia, your NFL team.
Yes. So who is he a fan of? You just mentioned it's one of the ones that you mentioned.
Oh, okay. So he likes the Steelers.
He does not like the Steelers.
He likes Dolphins.
He likes this week's opponent, the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, so I said that first.
Yep.
Okay, well, stop me when I answer it, right? Don't make me guess in the whole league. I did guess, and I guessed it right.
Right. Also, another fun fact about Brad. Brad, despite having songs such as Alcohol and #1 in beer, he actually does not drink alcohol.
Oh.
So that's pretty
one of us.
Pretty rare. He's a country singer. They all sing about trucks, women, and beer, but he does not drink any beer or alcohol whatsoever. Gotcha. So it's pretty interesting. All right, little Brad trivia.
Give me the trivia. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if they're going to be able to help me with this. Well, Sheldon, Russ, I really need help with some Brad Paisley trivia.
It's just really quick. So, Brad, what superstitious routine does Brad do every night before going on stage? What do you think it is?
Lou, that could be anything from wiping his butt with his left hand to picking his nail. I could be anything.
So I will give you a hint. It is something that you do or you should do twice a day.
He brushes his teeth before he goes.
He brushes his teeth before every show. Before he gets on stage, he brushes his teeth and then he grabs a mic and goes sings. Okay. Pretty interesting or pretty weird.
He walks on stage backwards. That's a great. That's
Hey, that's another good superstition.
All right, next one.
All right, the next one is, what Pixar movie has Brad written songs for? Is it A, Coco, B, Luca, C, Cars, or D, Lightyear?
Cars. Final answer.
You sure about that?
Yes.
It is Cars. You are correct. Wow, you're doing pretty well this week. All right.
Cars and brushing teeth. I'm telling you, I just work better when we lose power.
Those are my Brad facts. Okay, all right.
Can we tell scary stories tonight?
No, not tonight. All right, so now let's go to my second fact in 1972. 50 years ago yesterday, on November the 8th, 1972, a major milestone happened in the world of television. All right.
We repeat that because they're going to be able to help me with this one. 50 years ago, yesterday,
a major milestone happened in the world of television.
Okay.
Anybody guess what it is?
Satellite TV.
Kind of.
Direct TV. HD.
No.
50 years ago, something happened in TV. MASH.
No. We said that already. MASH did debut 50 years ago, but no, this is something.
Cable.
There you go. So. Basically, HBO launched 50 years ago yesterday. And so before HBO, this is really a pioneering movement. Before HBO, there was only about 10 to 15 channels.
Oh.
So, if you wanted to watch a movie, you had to go to the movie theater. You wanted to watch a concert, you had to go to a concert. Sporting event, except for the World Series or Super Bowl, sports didn't have Oh, I was going to ask it as my trivia question, but okay, that was already taken. Thanks, Russ.
Thank you.
So basically, they pretty much revolutionized the way television would be seen later on. Now you have all these streaming services, and everything is this plus, that plus, whatever plus. But HBO was the first one to do it. They are you doing like a Ouija board? What are you doing?
No,
right
I'm just playing with the candles since we don't have electricity.
So yeah, HBO launched 50 years ago this week in 1972, and they were the first of its kind. My bonus question, Russ, was what does HBO stand for? And you, of course, said it.
I would never have got that, right? I would have been like, Howard Bradshaw, da 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 da. So thank you for that.
Home box office.
I would never have gotten that.
Their idea at the time was like, you're crazy. People aren't going to pay monthly service fees to watch movies at home, and that's what everybody's doing today. So they were really ahead of its time. And so yeah, 50 years ago, HBO launched.
So Sheldon said a lot of sports was on tape delayed back then.
Yeah, absolutely. The NBA Finals is a great example. The NBA
Sheldon,
Finals,
you weren't around back then. How do you know this kind of stuff? The NBA Finals what?
Yeah, no, the NBA Finals didn't start airing until the 80s. After the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson game in college that brought a lot of recognition to basketball. Those games were, as was just mentioned by Sheldon, they were on tape delay. They would come out like at 10 or 11 o'clock at night. Yeah,
that's terrible.
So, and if you were better back then or something, there was no ESPN or anything like that. So you would have to get the results in the paper the next day. It's amazing. It's how things were back then.
All right, go for it.
All right, so now I'm going to give you my 1972 fact about the Dolphins.
Wait, I bet you they won this week in history.
You got that right as well. All right, so in week 8, the Dolphins met the Buffalo Bills that were 2-6. This game was played in Buffalo. Now remember, just 2 weeks earlier, the Dolphins just barely beat the Bills
Miami.
In Miami by 1 point, 24-23. That was a really close game. The Bills actually would have had a chance to tie the game. However, they didn't have the opportunity to do so because there was no 2-point conversions back then. So they had to go for the extra point, and they fell 1 game short.
1 point short.
Right. So I'm sure there was a little bit of nervousness going into this game.
Yeah, they knew it was going to be tough.
Yes.
In Buffalo, it's cold at that point. November cold.
Yep. Okay. So this game was played on November the 5th, 1972. Kickoff was at 1 p.m.
Yep.
And the temperature that day was
41
degrees. 41 degrees temperature. The game was played at the War Memorial Stadium, or as the Macho Man would say, War Memorial Stadium. Oh, yeah.
Stop it. Just stop it.
So, yeah, it was played at the War Memorial Stadium. That was the last year that stadium was in effect. The very next year, they moved into their current stadium over in Orchard Park, where they still play to this day. And, of course, a couple of weeks ago, it was announced that they were going to be building a brand new $1 billion+ stadium pretty much on the same location. And it is not going to – I was amazed. One of the listeners guys in the chat mentioned that it's not going to have a roof.
Yeah.
Which is insane. But apparently they love their home field advantage so much that they are not going to have a roof at the new Buffalo Bills Stadium.
They love the Macho Man references. So if you need to throw in another one, then go ahead. Oh, yeah. Snap into it. Macho Man Lou. You guys hype him up so much. He says this in bed. He'll be like, babe, Macho Man ready to go to sleep. Okay, go ahead.
I wish Macho Man had some electricity powers.
Or pay the electric bill at least, or can protect us from this hurricane.
Yeah.
I'm staying with Sheldon and Russ tonight. Move over. Tell your family I'm moving in. Go ahead.
All right, so the next season.
So it beat the Bills.
Well, yes, but let me get to that.
Go
so
for it.
The next season is where they so they still play there today, and they're building a new stadium.
Yeah.
But so that was the last year at that stadium.
Got it.
They announced. Wait, sorry. So where am I? Okay, so
you need light. Hold on.
No, I got it.
Light.
No. So as far as for this game, the Bills hung tough again with the Finns. They were trailing only 16-13 at the half, but the Bills held the Finns held the Bills to just 3 points in the rest.
You can't read it so dark in here.
Half.
Go ahead. No,
Mercury Morris rushed for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mar Fleming caught a touchdown pass from Earl Morrall, and our guy Gary Opremian.
So Earl was still quarterback because Bob Greasy was still out.
Right.
Okay.
And Gary Opremian, our field goal kicker, connected on 3 very short field goals. Now, Earl Morrall, we just mentioned, he struggled once again in this one. This is his 3rd start overall. He threw the ball just 14 times. He only had 5 completions. He did throw that 1 touchdown, but he also threw another pick 6. So he's now played 3 games.
With how many pick sixes?
2.
Yeah.
2 pick 6s and 3 overall. interceptions, which is not good in your first 3 games. Now, the Dolphins' running attack is making up for their lack of passing offense. So the running game between Mercury Morris, Larry Zonka, and Jim Kick, they're taking care of business. And then,
Must be nice.
And then, of
Can
course,
we bring him back?
The defense held the Bills to just 16 points in this one. And they held the Hall of Famer O.J. Simpson,
your boy,
a running back who had some killer moves, if you don't mind me saying.
We're talking about killer anything when we have our haunted house right now with no power and a possible episode of 2020.
Yeah, that's true. I shouldn't be saying that.
Let's cut out the killer jokes today.
Yeah, that's we
have no power right now. Yeah.
And let's not use a knife to cut those things out either. Anyways,
not funny. No one laugh about that. I'm about to be.
So the Bills fall short this time. The Dolphins win 30-16. They are now 8-0, keeping pace with the Eagles right now in the world of undefeated football.
Talking about them Eagles. First of all, did you know OJ was almost cast as a Terminator?
Oh man!
No pun intended. What was I about to say? I just forgot what I was going to say.
Did you know? Speaking of, no.
It's so hard to concentrate when you're in the dark right now. I don't know what I was going to say. It's going to come back to me.
All right. Speaking about being in the dark, let's talk about what the Hurricanes did this.
I don't want to talk about the Hurricanes. Hurricanes, what do we do about them, right? Like.
I'll tell you, that was really embarrassing. I mean, you talk about it was a sold out game. The Hard Rock was sold out for this one.
Yeah.
Against your bitter rival.
No, that's what I was going to talk about. The Eagles. Speaking of the Eagles, thank you, RJ. Thank you. Okay, speaking of the Eagles, when do we start pushing the panic button? Now let me finish. Russ, chime in as well. Everyone chime in. They're 8-0 right now. They don't have the toughest schedule. Granted, they still play the Giants twice, still play the Cowboys, Tennessee, but they're really, really hot. Do they legitimately have a shot to have an undefeated season? Yes or no in the chat. Are the Philadelphia Eagles going to go undefeated this year? Russ, do not be biased with me.
Let's see. I'm going to be biased, but I'm going to be honest also. But go ahead. What does everybody say out there?
Russ said, did you know that my liver's MLS? We had so much going on. The Phillies, Philadelphia had the MLS Cup, the World Series, but Russ, our good friend, Philadelphia fan, the Eagles will not go undefeated. RJ says, no, please leave the Canes on today's show. My BP will skyrocket. It took me 3 days to come down from that shit, Joe. I told him, RJ, I got your back, babe. Man. I said, Lou, let it go. Let it go. Sheldon also said they will lose after the bye week.
Wow. Okay, so look, here's my take on it. Ready?
What do you think?
They've added a new game now, so it's not 16, it's 17. They did that 2 years ago. So now, first of all, they will be favored in every game but the Dallas game. If you look at the schedule, they're pretty much going to be favored.
Because Dak is back.
Right, but it's not just Dak being back. That game will be in Dallas. So they beat them, pretty – it was a close game for a while.
It's a Monday night game, right?
The Sunday night game. They blew them out in the fourth quarter, actually. Yeah. But it was a relatively close game. But that was a home game. This next game will be in Dallas, and it'll be tough. It'll be a tough game to win. And they may not be favored in that game, but they will be favored in every other game the rest of the way.
Not if they lose in Dallas, then I feel like their momentum, their mojo will go down.
No. Here's the issue. The issue is this. As if they are undefeated and they're going towards the end, you now have an extra game. You also have the bye if you're the undefeated number one team in that division.
Yeah.
There is no way that the coach will now play an extra game, his starters, and then risk the fact of, them being hurt before the playoffs. So that extra game is just, it's just not going to give these teams an opportunity.
Wait, how would the Eagles have a bye? I thought they had a bye during my birthday week.
The bye for the playoffs. They're going to get a number one. They're going to get a seed as the number one seed. So they'll get the bye there. So, them having that bye, if you rest players in week 17, or in this case, week 18, with the season extended, you're just going to set your team up to have 3 weeks off.
So we're not worried about the Eagles. Eagles are going to lose one. Let's not push.
Well, but they haven't yet.
I would love for them to go undefeated, but once they lock up home field and then the bye, you risk. Yeah, exactly what you just said.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then the other issue is this: since and this is no offense, I'm not the one. A lot of people are doing it and saying, "Oh, they haven't really played anybody." I'm not doing that. They're playing who's on their schedule. They can't control it. Now the issue is, since they haven't played very notable teams, when you get to the playoffs, you're going to have to play the best of the best.
Of course.
So now you're going to ask them to win 2 playoff games in the NFC, and then if they get to the Super Bowl, win that game as well.
Mm-hmm.
So now from going to a cupcake schedule, which again is not their fault, they're doing what they're supposed to do, playing who's on their schedule and beating them pretty handily. Now you got to beat 3 great teams in a row, and it's too many things that have factor into it. So I don't see them going into the future.
So talking about future schedules, this week, sorry, I'm playing with the candle. This week, Cleveland comes to town. The Browns beat the Bengals. The Bengals beat us. It's one of those games where it can go either way. I'm going to be honest. It can go either way.
I don't see that.
They beat the Bengals. Bengals beat us.
They're playing with a backup quarterback who was our backup quarterback last year, Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
It would have been Deshaun Watson, but he likes to have massages on a regular.
So do you.
Well, everybody loves a happy ending. But in this case, Deshaun Watson had too many happy endings, which led him to be suspended. So their backup quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, who again was our backup quarterback, comes to town.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Jacoby is what he is. He's a backup quarterback. And this team, which has the same defense, they haven't been doing well, but they practiced against this guy, all of last season. They know his weaknesses. They're going to go out there, and really.
Okay, let's hope that we can stop any type of run game. I feel that, obviously Jacoby's not a runner. He's not a runner. He's not a track star.
He's going to be a dead duck in the backfield this week because the Dolphins, look, there's just way too much at stake here. They've won 2 games on the road, back-to-back, Lions and Bears. They're coming home for a game against the Browns, then the bye week, and then a game against the Texans.
And then California for 2 weeks.
Correct.
And then Green Bay.
So, and that's, you just said it. They're playing in California against 2 really good teams that are, stacked heavily with the Chargers and the 49ers. They can't afford to mess around. You got 2 home games sandwiched in between a bye week. They got to take advantage. So I'm not worried about the Browns, and I'm not worried about the Texans.
So RJ said, I think that is convincing win we've been looking for. D is all right versus the run. Jacoby isn't running for 178 yards.
Exactly.
He better not, unless
he may run for 178 yards backwards, but he ain't running 178 anywhere close to that.
Yeah. No. We got them going with happy ending. But I thought they were going to bye this week. No, Sheldon. They played a bye week October 24th or 23rd, 24th. I thought that too. But they play the Commanders. Watch the Commanders go beat the Eagles. But no, so the Browns come to town.
I actually thought that the Colts would have a chance to beat them, but now they just did this crazy thing in hiring Jeff Saturday, who has no experience whatsoever.
Only on Sundays. Just kidding.
That's a good one. But I mean, look, he was a great player, but he was an analyst. I mean, he has no experience. So I don't think they're going to lose that game either now on the road against the Colts.
All right, guys, give me your prediction for Sunday. Dolphins versus Browns, 1:00 kickoff at the Hard Rock. Drop the predictions in the chat. What is your prediction? Dolphins versus Browns. Go ahead. But the running game is crazy. Nick Chubb has 100 rushing yards, 10 touchdowns. He is averaging carries. We have to stop that. That's facts.
That's right. Which brings me to my joke of the day. I've already had a couple, but here's another one. Nick Chubb, of course, is the cousin of Bradley Chubb. So this Sunday, we're going to find out who the bigger Chubb is.
And I didn't know what that really meant until you told me, and I didn't need to know that.
You didn't know what a Chubb was? Are you serious?
I didn't.
Oh, boy. Well, for those of you
That's why you need to date older. They teach you things.
Well,
Fins 24, staying in the underwear.
Oh, there you go.
I can't with them sometimes. Fins 24, staying in the underwear 13. RJ says Miami 38, Cleveland 22 again over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. Preach it.
Nice.
Sheldon from South Carolina says Dolphins 35, Browns 21. Macho Man Randy Savage. What is your prediction for this week?
I'm going to say...
I didn't say Lou. I said Macho Man.
No, I'm ready for a Macho Man. I'm going to save a Macho Man prediction when we really need it. We will take care of the Browns this week, and I'm going to go big. I'm going to go 42-20. 42-20. I think we're going to score a lot of points.
And then I mean, I want a touchdown from Wilson, Gesicki,
Tyreek too.
Waddle,
2 touchdowns.
Everybody and their mothers. That's some big fight.
We're going to score a lot of points this week.
So you said 40 to what?
42-20.
Oh my goodness. Sheldon said you're on a roll.
Put Russ Taylor's comment. Put Russ Taylor's comment back. Yeah. So speaking of that, you're of course referencing the Browns and staying in the underwear. And I know some people do this that are my juvenile level. when I need to go to the bathroom and I'm doing number 2, I like to excuse myself by saying I'm going to go take the Browns to the Super Bowl.
You did that to me. I was at the pool. We have
yeah,
a pool in our backyard, and I'm like, Lou, when are you coming to the pool? And he was like, I'm taking the Browns to the Super Bowl. Me being sporty spice.
No idea what I'm talking
No,
about.
I did.
Oh, I
said, oh, you're pooping.
Okay.
But the average woman would be like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, I got to take the Browns to the Super Bowl.
Oh my gosh. We have to keep Garrett and Clowney away from Tua. Yeah. We have to keep everybody away from Tua. Our offensive line has to hold them. This man cannot get hit. We know that. No. We know his potential. People are now saying he is the next Dan Marino. I've heard people say. I know big words have been said.
Almost made me spit out of my mouth.
Listen, give him credit. Give him credit.
No, he's not. He's got to keep doing it. He's got to keep doing. But he's playing great. No knock. But you can't compare him to Dan Marino or
drop the kids at the pool. That's how Russ says he has to go to the bathroom.
That's another one good. Yeah, that's another good.
Guys, how do you tell somebody that you have to go to the bathroom? Number 2. Let's just spin course. We're having a crazy night tonight. We don't have power. I don't know how I'm gonna eat dinner. I think I'm gonna have to eat like Oreos. Lou says he's taking the Browns to the Super Bowl. Russ Taylor says he's dropping the kids off at the pool. He also says he's dropping a deuce. How do you tell somebody to go to the bathroom? I almost tweeted this the other day. I wanted to know if people use the bathroom in front of their spouse, their partner. Do you go to the bathroom with your door open? We do. I do.
I don't.
I do.
And I walk away if I see that.
No, that's not true.
You dropping the Browns off at the Super Bowl.
No, I just want to know the comfort level with people. Like, I go to the bathroom. I'm a princess, but princesses do poop.
Okay, all right.
And
no.
I leave the door open. Sheldon, I need to drop 10 pounds off.
Wow.
That's
nice.
a good one.
That's a good
one. But yeah, I do. I mean, you guys, you find it a lot on the show tonight. No power. I go to the bathroom with the door open with Lou.
Yeah, I don't.
I do.
I walk away. I don't ever see that.
After what happened this weekend, we won't go into everything. But I mean, Lou and I are very, very, very comfortable together. So
not that comfortable.
Really? My poop does not gross you out. Okay, whatever. Okay. Oh, RJ taking it to the hoop, losing 10 pounds, dropping a deuce. Anyways, all right. So we're all in agreement that the Dolphins will beat the Browns this week.
Yes.
All absolutely. In favor, say aye.
Everybody's on board. And then it'll be real interesting to see what happens in the Minnesota Buffalo game. So we'll see.
First time I destroyed a bathroom was so bad at LA Fitness I didn't even work out.
Oh man.
He leaves the door open as well.
Oh jeez.
Okay, so you leave the door open as well. Yeah. But that's what I do. New weekly segment. There's so many things I want to say on the show, but I'm like, A, will I embarrass myself? B, will I lose my job? We can share so much stuff. No, but I do go to the bathroom with the door open with Lou.
I don't see it, so whatever you do, I just walk away.
You have seen it before.
No.
Lou, when you're in the shower, sometimes I need to go to the bathroom. I go.
I have soap in my eyes on purpose. I don't want to see that.
Oh my gosh. Anyways,
Russ is crazy. Russ is awesome, though.
You guys are all awesome. No, we have so many good friends and viewers here. You guys are really. I mean, you make it with the chat so much more entertaining because this is just like
entertaining. Period. They're awesome.
They are. No, we have the best viewers. We're missing Sandy tonight. Sandy's in California. They're going through a lot of flooding, so I'm going to make sure she's okay. Yes. Hopefully, she has power, unlike us right now. So yeah, but we won't talk about the Canes because I don't want.
Well, you have to mention it. Look.
Okay, we did, but I don't want to upset them.
I'm just gonna zip by it.
I will have to explain men's urinal. Okay, I can tell you with that. I don't have big pet peeves, right? I'm like a tomboy. I'm like a guy. I like sports. I like airplanes. I like stuff. When Lou leaves the toilet seat up, it is my biggest pet peeve. I just cannot stand toilet seats being up. What's
so hard about putting it down?
Just put it down. You missed the toilet. I see. Okay, really? I'm going to take you guys in the bathroom one of these days.
Ew.
Just put the toilet seat down. Just put the toilet seat down. Please.
All right. Okay. I'll work on it.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. So, no, look, they got destroyed.
Who did? What are you talking about?
Speaking about poop.
No, I don't want to upset RJ.
I'm going to do it really quick. I'll be really fast about it. Speaking of poop.
Really fast about it? I hear that all the time.
The Hurricanes lost 45-3. They scored 3 freaking points against their rival.
Was that the final?
Yeah,
I was
45-3. They scored 3 points against their rival. And the biggest the biggest disappointment here is that it was a sold out game, and this is a game that all the recruits come to. They want to showcase this game and show them, hey, do you want to be a part of this? Do you want to put on the orange?
No, they don't. They just want to.
Do you want to put on the orange jersey and throw up the U, and do all that stuff? And they couldn't do anything. They should have given out barf bags. So instead of throwing up the U, they would have thrown up in the barf bag, because that's how bad they played. You cannot score 3 points.
2024 is going to be different, according to RJ. He said it before, but he means it this time. 2024 is the year of the Canes.
Well, look, it's going to be the first year. It's going to be probably later than that, because it just looks so mismatched right now. Yeah. But you got to give Cristobal the benefit of the doubt, because at this time he doesn't have his players in there. It's guys that he's coaching. Manny Diaz's players, so you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. But man, you can't lose 45-3 at home against the Seminoles. That's just unacceptable.
Agreed. So what I was thinking about? I don't know why. One thing I did tell you guys that we did in Chicago that some of you will appreciate. When was it? It was Sunday night after the game, after we went to Luminalties. It was like 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday. We went to a blues club. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
A blues club. A blues club. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Buddy Guy.
He's a Grammy Award-winning blues singer. Absolutely.
So Lou and I were in a fight that night, and he said, "We're going to go to blues club." I was like, okay.
Even though we didn't have the blues because the Dolphins won.
No, but we went. So I didn't know what to expect. I was still in my Dolphins gear. We pull up or walked. It was right behind our hotel. I'll tell you one thing. If you guys have never been to a blues club, definitely go. I know in Orlando there's the House of a Blues Clue.
Not the same.
It's Blues Clue. Yeah, but no. A blues club. A blue club.
Yeah.
It was excellent. It's hard for me to explain it. I mean, we weren't drinking, so that really made for it. But they go up and they tell these stories, the way they're singing, and people are dancing, but they're like dancing like, woo. And
no, they're basically blues is what you're doing is you're pouring out your soul.
Yes, and I like that.
Putting it all out there, and it's fantastic. And the rhythm to it, the harmonica, the guitar strings, everything, the drums.
So we had a really good time there.
But we walked in as we were paying the cover charge. You were actually like, "Oh, it's $15 cover charge."
I was like, "No, I never paid cover charge in my life." It's kind of
right. And I was like, "Look, this is not a nightclub. This is a blues club. So you're paying for the performance for the performers, and there is going to be a cover charge." And right as we were playing, the MC came out and said, "And now we got a very special appearance, taking the stage, the one and only Mr. Buddy Guy." So he actually took the stage right when we're going in and saying,
he was good.
At that point, I'm like, I'm paying this cover charge before it goes up, because whoever comes behind us with Buddy Guy on stage, that cover charge just went up to $40 or whatever it was going to be. So we got really lucky that we got in right when he was being called on stage. Yeah. And he did a great set. I mean, we were in the presence of a legend. I mean, that was awesome.
Yeah.
He's 86 years old.
He looks great.
86 years old,
still
out there, still belting them out. Just awesome. And yeah, he's got two sons, and man, they look like MMA fighters. They were huge.
They sure do look good.
They were, they run the club for their dad, and they were so friendly.
We had a great time. Chicago was great, guys. Literally, like you said before earlier in the show, we had a blast. Obviously, it wouldn't have been as good if the Dolphins didn't win, but we are 2-0 on the road. So if anybody wants to sponsor our next trip to see a Dolphins away game to guarantee a win, we will accept donations.
Hey, we're 2-0 this year. So
I'm telling you, if you want the Dolphins win, you got to put us on the road.
We're 2-0. We're actually 3 of our last 4.
Well, guess this.
3 in a row total, because we beat the Saints last year.
We didn't go to the Jets game. We didn't in New York. We didn't go to the Bengals game in Cincinnati. And guess what? They lost both those away games. So they just lose when we don't go. So if anybody wants to sponsor our away games, let us know. Anyways, all right. I'm going to lose you guys here. But Heat talk real quick. We're struggling. Not looking good right now. Not much to say early in the season. We're just losing too many games. And do we push the panic button now, or we kind of just let it see where it goes?
No, you don't push the panic button, but they're losing games at home. It's a Blazers team. They
lose to the Kings. We're the Kings' first win. Let's be real.
Yeah, that's really concerning how they're losing these games at home, and also the health. You got Oladipo obviously hasn't played a game yet.
Tyler's not healthy.
Tyler missed the game on Monday. Jimmy missed 2 games the week before.
York Simmons not healthy.
Yeah, it's tough. They're off to a rough start, but there's other teams that are off to a rough start as well. And at this point, the way the Bucks are playing, you're not going to catch them anyway. The Bucs are going to wrap up that number 1 seed by the All-Star break, it looks like. So we'll see.
Russ said, do we need more movies? Yeah, if we had electricity, tonight would be a perfect night to watch movies, but we don't have electricity.
I'm missing the CMA Awards and my girl, Carrie Underwood. So.
Oh, your girl?
Yeah, I love Carrie Underwood. She does the NFL shows. Come on. She does Sunday Night Football.
Do you need more movies? Yes, please send them our way because I don't know what we're going to do tonight.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. We got to figure out this electricity thing. No lights. I don't want to have a romantic night with him, so I think I'm just going to eat a bagel and go to sleep.
All right, let's call it a show. Want to thank everybody out there for sticking with us through the power outage here. And everybody who's and where's the storm projected to hit landfall tonight?
It's hitting us right now.
No, I know, but tonight it's going to hit.
It's hitting like Jupiter.
All right, well,
between Jupiter and Stewart, it's going to be the worst. But the bands go from Jacksonville to Miami, so it is a huge system, and it's going to cross the state going west. So this one's moving west. Go through Orlando, out of Tampa, then cut back over.
All right, well, whoever's out there in its path, I hope you guys are safe. And yeah, just we'll hopefully get a big win this weekend against the Browns.
Definitely. Like I said, on Sunday or on Friday, Lou and I will be attending the Tyreek Hill Family Foundation Gala. So stay tuned for pictures, support any way you can. These athletes, obviously they have a platform, but they do get back to the community. And Tyreek did a lot for Kansas City, and he is trying to do a lot here. So really excited to support his foundation that supports Nicholas Children's Hospital for the mental health ward for the children. So
that's fantastic.
Stay tuned. So you guys be safe as well. We will talk soon. And until then, fins up. Bears down because you went down. And we'll catch you guys later.
Take care, guys.
Bye.